Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Olson from the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I've been working with Julia for almost 100 episodes now, and she has really helped me grow my podcast from basically just my parents, my husband and kids, and my sister as listeners to over 17,000 downloads. I mean, the amount that she expanded my audience went way beyond my expectations. She really blew my mind. I have quadrupled the number of downloads over the past 12 months. Julia has been so much more than just my podcast teacher. She has been like a partner to me, really taking an interest in my program and helping me more than I ever could have asked for. I highly recommend Julia.
How amazing is that? I am so grateful that Dr. Lisa shared her experience. And if her story resonated with you and you're thinking, wait, I want results like that too, that is exactly what we're doing inside the Podcast Growth Collective. It's the place for online business owners who want to turn podcasting into a powerful growth tool without the burnout and without guessing what to fix. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and finally start seeing results from your podcast, I would love to support you. Head to thepodcastteacher.com/collective to learn more and to join us. And now let's jump into today's episode. Welcome to Podcasting for Introverts. I'm Julia Levine, aka the Podcast Teacher. I'm a fellow introvert, entrepreneur, and educator. If you want to start a podcast and expand your reach without social media, this is the show for you. Let's get started. Hey, and welcome back. Right now, as you're listening to this, I am just wrapping up an epic cross-country road trip with my husband. At least, I hope it was epic. I'm actually recording this before we even head out, because guess who's on top of her recording schedule? Yep, that's right. I am. I am pretty darn impressed with myself because I recorded an entire month of episodes in advance to prepare for this trip, when I'm usually recording at midnight the night before the air date. I share that with you to give myself a little pat on the back, but also because it relates to today's episode content. Most of us go through life with a have, do, be mentality. For example, as an entrepreneur, I might think, when I have the money, then I'll do the things, like hire a business coach, and then I'll be successful. We have this vision of what a successful entrepreneur looks like and their identity. This approach can also be called when-then thinking. So, for example, when I'm thin, then I'll be happy. And of course, then we have a vision of what our identity looks like as a happy person. To apply this to the podcasting space, someone might think, when I have 1 million downloads, then I'll be a successful podcaster. But this whole approach is kind of backwards. Because when we're waiting to have this thing, whether that's money or weight loss or 1 million podcast downloads, we're saying that we can't be successful or happy or whatever the desired outcome is without that thing. But of course, that's totally not true. In fact, it's our identity, our core beliefs and persona that determine our behaviors, which in turn determine if we get to have the thing. This is the be, do, have approach. So if we are being someone who is happy and healthy, that leads us to do things like choose healthy foods and work out and then we have the weight loss. Or if we're being a successful entrepreneur, we're doing things like managing our time well, generating leads, delegating tasks, etc. And then we have financial success. If I'm being a successful podcaster, I'm staying on top of my recording schedule, and therefore I will have the downloads coming in, working my way towards 1,000,000. In all of these scenarios, the identity comes first. And it's so easy for us to forget that because we're focused on the thing that we want to have. So I want to ask you, who do you need to be in order to do the things that will get you to what you want to have? Do you need to be someone who's focused and disciplined? Do you need to be someone who lets go of perfectionism? Do you need to be a visionary? Do you need to be someone who follows through on commitments? For me, commitment is a big one, especially when it comes to things I tell myself. I tell myself that I'll spend less time mindlessly scrolling on social this week, or that I'll cook dinner instead of getting takeout. And then it doesn't happen. I have a history of being really good at keeping my word to others, but pretty terrible at keeping promises to myself. And that really doesn't feel good to admit or say out loud. And so I'm working on changing that. I am being committed to following through. So I promised myself that before I left on this big vacation, that I would get all of my podcast episodes recorded. Now, it might be midnight the night before I leave at 6 a.m. as I'm recording this, but I am getting it recorded before I leave, like I said I would. I could just pack up my microphone and take it with me and say I'll record in the hotel room. But that's not what I told myself originally, and I am following through on my original commitment. I am being someone who's committed to doing what they tell themselves they will do. It's a work in progress, but I am being this person. I am working on embracing this persona, this identity. I first heard this be, do, have approach from a coach named Jim Fortin. I discovered him at the turning point in my life where I had just left my teaching job because of health issues and burnout, and I had absolutely no idea what was next. I just knew I couldn't go back into the school. I literally physically couldn't. And I was completely lost. And it was one of the most challenging times of my life so far. I was totally stuck in the have, do, be mentality. I thought I needed to have a new career and have better health so that I could be happy and fulfilled and successful. Through a friend, I came across a free training that Jim was running where he talked about his approach of be, do, have. And the way he explained it, it just made so much sense to me. And I ended up joining his coaching program. Long story short, it literally transformed my life and helped me navigate to where I am today. Anyway, I'm getting a little off track here. Did I mention that I'm recording this very, very late on very few hours of sleep? This episode was me giving you a little mini dose of mindset and identity work. If the concept of be, do, have clicked with you, I encourage you to check out the Jim Fortin podcast, though I do recommend starting from the beginning with his older stuff. He's gotten increasingly woo-woo over the past couple of years, and he focuses less on the identity work than he used to. And of course, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the woo-woo. It's just not what I'm talking about here today and not why I am referring you to his work. Okay, so until next week, I'll ask you to reflect on who do you need to be? As a podcaster or a business owner, who do you need to be in order to have what you want? Food for thought. All right, I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for listening. If something in this episode resonated with you and you're thinking about starting your own podcast, I have a free resource that will help you. It's called the Podcast Roadmap: 7 Questions to Start Your Journey. To grab it, just head to thepodcastteacher.com/roadmap. See you next week.